Hello and welcome to TTV News with some latest events in Tây Ninh Province. Ladies and gentlemen, in the morning of June 29, Mr. Nguyễn Trọng Nghĩa, Secretary of the Party Central Committee, heads of the Central Propaganda and Training Department, visited and encouraged FPT officials and employees in Tây Ninh. Heads of the Propaganda and Training Department of the Provincial Party Committee, Nguyễn Thị Xuân Hương, Deputy Heads of the National Assembly Delegation of Tây Ninh Province, Ms. Nguyễn Thị Thanh Thúy, joined the delegation.
Reporting to the delegation, Ms. Trần Thị Thùy Trang, Director of FPT TayNinhTV branch, said that it has spent 13 years of building and developing internet and television in TayNinhTV province and has currently covered infrastructure to 9 districts, towns and cities. Speaking at the visit, Mr. Nguyễn Trọng Nghĩa acknowledged and appreciated the results that FPT TayNinhTV has achieved over the past time. He suggested that FPT TayNinhTV branch continue to promote the achieved results, the application of information technology, and take the lead in the digital transformation in the locality, besides actively coordinate with local authorities to continuously perform well social security work.
In the morning of June 29, National Assembly member Nguyễn Trọng Nghĩa, Secretary of the Party Central Committee, heads of the Central Propaganda and Training Department, Delegate Nguyễn Mạnh Tiến, Deputy Chairman of the Foreign Affairs Committee of the National Assembly, Delegate Phạm Hùng Thái, Standing Deputy Secretary of the Provincial Party Committee, heads of the National Assembly Delegation of Tây Ninh Province, and Delegate Hoàng Thị Thanh Thúy, Huỳnh Thanh Phương, Trần Hữu Hậu, met voters of provincial departments and ranches after the 5th sessions of the 15th National Assembly.
At the meeting, there were two turns of opinions proposed by voters on tax policy, reserving security and order, smuggling prevention compared policies to support pupils and students whose fathers and mothers serve in the police and military forces, policy on social insurance, health insurance. On behalf of the National Assembly delegation of TayNinhTV province, Mr. Phạm Hùng Thái recorded and received the voters' recommendations to transfer to the functional agencies and at the same time explain and provide additional information on a number of relevant contents and fields within the competence of the Provincial National Assembly delegation. After more than 2 years of implementing the resolution of the Congress, the Executive Board of the Party Committee of the Provincial Agencies and Enterprises Bloc has led the grassroots party committees to well perform the political tasks set out by the resolution of Congress of the 2020-2025 term. South and party committees at agencies, units, and enterprises have focused on improving the quality of human resources, especially in the public sector, to meet the needs of industrialization and modernization, administrative reform, judicial reform, building digital government, digital transformation, fully fulfill the tax payment obligations, continue to thoroughly grasp and implement the strategy on national defense in the new situation, promptly implement resolutions and directives to improve people's foreign affairs in the new situation. For the work of building the party, the political system and organizing the study, the resolution of the 11th Party Congress of the province and the resolution of the 8th Party Congress of the Bloc Party Committee reached over 98%. Resolution of the 13th Party Congress reached nearly 100%. On June 29, the Provincial Peace Committee held a ceremony to honor advanced examples in the fight against crime and drug evils. Attending the honoring ceremony, there were Ms. Nguyễn Đại Thị, Vice Chairwoman of the Provincial Peace Council, Mr. Trần Văn Chiến, Vice Chairman of the Provincial Peace Committee, together with more than 120 delegates who are the secretaries of high school youth unions, the secretaries of grassroots youth union, and youth union members of hamlets and quarters, Catholic members, key propagandists, heads of self-managed residential groups. At the conference, the delegates watched a documentary film about the crime prevention work of the Ministry of Public Security and the results of struggle in the first segments of the drug prevention force of TayNinhTV Provincial Police. At the honoring ceremony, the delegates heard experiences on good practices, effective models in drug prevention control, successful detoxification, and post-detoxification. After discussion and sharing, 31 collectives and individuals that are exemplary in drug prevention control were honored.
Turn to other news. In the first 6 months of the year, the economic growth momentum of TayNinh province readily recovered, but was still slow compared to the whole country and the southern economic region, with the province growth rate ranked 42nd in the country and 2 out of 8 in the region after Bình Phước. This is the data released by TayNinh Statistical Office at the press conference to announce the socio-economic statistics for the 6 months of 2023 in the province in the mornings of June 29.
At the press conference, Mr. Nguyễn Đình Vũ Quang, Director of the Statistical Department of TayNinh Province, said that the socio-economic situation of the province gradually grew clearer in the months of the second quarter of 2023. Estimated gross domestic product or GDP in the first 6 months of 2023 increased by 4.07% over the same period. Agricultural production maintains stable development, strengthens the chains of cooperation to connect investment enterprises, develops high-tech agricultural ecosystem, and forms linking chains for sustainable production and consumption of agricultural products, active trade and service activities with a fairly high growth compared to the same period last year. Industrial production saw good signs of recovery. Industrial production index increased by 4.30%. Foreign investment attraction in the first 6 months of the year was estimated at $515.4 million, up 130% over the same period. At the press conference, the provincial departments and branches discussed with representatives of the press agencies around issues of local tourism development, environment, food safety, development of inland waterways. On June 28, 2023, TayNinh Provincial Police coordinated with the Women's Union of TayNinh Province to organize a communication conference to prevent fraud and appropriation of property in cyberspace. Lieutenant Colonel Huỳnh Văn Sửu, Captain of Basic Professional Task Team, Criminal Police Department of Provincial Public Security, reported on matters and cases of criminals who cheated and appropriated assets in the cyberspace, such as impersonating the police, the procuracy, or the court to call the victim to say that he or her is related to the case being investigated, and request to set up a bank account to transfer money to the subject for investigation and clarification. Love trap on the social networks, just to transfer money for charity. At the conference, 5 women share how they or their relatives were deceived by cyber criminals to appropriate their properties, thereby suing them to learn from their experiences and avoid them.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the afternoon of June 29, the candidates in TayNinh completed the English exam, which is the final exam of the 2023 high school graduation exam. During the 2 days of the exam, at 19 test locations, all took place safely and truthfully and in accordance with the regulation.
In the same days at the places set as the test site of the high school graduation exam in 2023, it is strictly implemented. The candidates all came to the exam room early. No candidates were late or to the wrong place for the exam like in previous years. There were a few candidates who forgot their papers of approval to sit for the exam, ID cards, but were promptly supported by family members and volunteers. After the exams, the students were very excited. According to the assessment of the candidates participating in the exam, the subjects are quite close to the knowledge they have learned. At the same time, in the exam subjects, there are difficult questions to classify students. This year's exam question is also suitable for students. This exam has difficult questions to classify into the university. I did well in math and literature. For math, it's very difficult from question 40 onwards. In my opinion, the combination of natural science subjects, physics is the most difficult. For the other two subjects, I did well. Thus, TayNinh has completed the organization of the high school graduation exam in 2023 after the foreign language exam at 19 test sites. All the best conditions are concentrated for candidates to successfully complete the exam. During these same days, police, health, electricity, and related units are present at on test site on duty 24 hours per 24 hours to ensure that these same tests place safely, seriously, and in accordance with regulations. Volunteers are always ready to support the candidates with necessity items and also have a small gift for them. At the beginning of the strengthening, we gave the students 10 scholarships. In addition, the team also provided 3,000 bottles of mineral waters, 700 cakes, 750 milk bottles, and also helped them with learning tools when they needed, directing candidates to the examination room according to regulations. In addition, the team also organized a lineup of volunteer motorbike taxis and separate streams when the students leave the school. According to a quick report of the Department of Education and Training on the same days of high school graduation examination council in 2023, there were no candidates who violated the regulations, and the test score showed no abnormal size. The percentage of candidates participating in the exam was over 99%. According to the regulations of the Ministry of Education and Training dated July 18, 2023, the Department of Education and Training will announce the results of the high school graduation exam in 2023.
The audience taking advantage of people's financial difficulty, the high-interest lender loans, advertising, tricks on social network, borrow through apps, distribute leaflets with simple procedure, borrow without collateral. However, the ease of borrowing money has caused many people to pay a heavy price and fall into the trap of black credit criminal. And when the victim is unable to repay the loan, they will be threatened, hampered, and mentally persecuted in many forms to pressure victims to pay their debt.
Once entangled in black credit, borrowers are increasingly unable to pay. They will play tricks to terrorize family and relatives or wait at the borrower's workplace to smear and insult the owner to coerce the borrower to repay the debt. With the determination to prevent black credit from infiltrating people's life over the past time, in addition to the struggle and prevention work, the police force has also actively implemented many solutions. We can't pay interest as entangled the black credit because of its extensive rate of interest. Many people were entangled, so I also know it. Because I can't afford it, I don't dare to borrow. Not allowing black credit criminals to operate is the determination of the provincial police force in the fight against this type of crime. In the first 6 months of 2023, the local police in the province arrested 28 cases, 43 subjects prosecuted 8 cases, 13 subjects loan high interest. Distributed leaflets with the content of lending money with installments and financial support, and make a dossier to request the competent authority to issue a decision on settling of administrative violations for 13 cases with 17 subjects. In addition, police at all levels in the province have coordinated with departments, branches, and mass organizations at all levels to organize 34 propaganda sessions over 245 zero groups. To avoid the consequences of black credit, people should look to official channels when they need to borrow money, such as through the legal credit system in the province. To borrow money in production and business activities is absolutely not associated with black credit. It is very easy to borrow but very difficult to repay. In addition, the consequences of black credit, it entails many things such as the object of not receiving interest, not receiving the principal, leading to stress and mental terror to the borrower, making many cases of borrowers fall into a state of depression without thinking. In isolated cases, leading to suicide, it is recommended that people are not involved in black credit. If unfortunately people are involved in black credit, they also suggest that people actively denounce and provide information to the police force to fight and handle crime of black credit law violations in the province. According to the provisions of Article 468 Civil Code 2015, effective from January 1st, 2017, in case of borrowing money that the parties have agreed on the interest rates, the agreed interest rates must not exceed 20% per year of the loan. Thus, if the loan interest rate exceeds 20%, it is considered as usury. But in fact, many people, when they need money, have fraud loan information through advertising leaflets or loan applications on the internet to borrow money and have fallen into the trap of loan sharks with high interest rates. The rate is usually 3 to 4 times higher, even dozens of times higher than the regulations. Therefore, in order not to get caught in the black credit trap, people need to be alert to the invitation to borrow money easily without collateral to avoid problems later.
That's all for today, TTV News. Thank you for being with us and goodbye for now.